Yo, what is going on YouTube? We are back doing another CDL prediction video. I know I took a kind of a long hiatus. I had a lot going on in life in general, to be honest. But hey, we back now. Got all that situated. I got a job. I've been super busy. I've been hitting the gym every day. Got a job, and then I'm just trying to balance like a lot of things. Oops, sorry about that. But yeah, that's essentially what's going on. But uh yeah, I just thought I'd fill in a Major Four tournament prediction video, and this is a huge tournament. Um, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of excited for this game to be over with, but we got two more events to go. They're probably gonna be the two most hyped events of the year. I mean, this tournament has a lot on the line. A lot of teams are on the bubble in terms of not making champs at all, and New York's one of them, and this is their homestand or their home tournament or their major. So it's going to be an interesting one to watch to see which teams qualify for champs and which teams don't. I'm gonna actually pull up the standings real quick. This screen's bright. Holy. um, but yeah, these are the standings right now. Um, Obviously you can see top eight make champs. So there's a lot of teams on the bubble. A lot of teams could get boobopped out of champs if they don't do well at this tournament. And if you're New York, you need these bubble teams like Florida, Minnesota, LAG, LAT, and even Toronto. No one's safe, man. Like all it takes is you getting gone in the first round, or if you're starting in winners, two losses in a row, and you're scared, you're trembling. You hope, you know, you hope on the downfall of a lot of teams here. Um, but yeah, it should be interesting. I'm actually gonna go right into the predictions because yeah. Um Start off with the first match. This is a big match for Toronto Ultra, and then speaking that you just saw, they're a bubble team. So and then London's look really good in form in this online qualifier stage. But at the end of the day, it's Vanguard. All it takes this is probably like the hardest game to predict because all it takes it's probably like I mean, I don't want to get into it too in depth, honestly, but like it's just hard to watch, and the inconsistency of the game is why you see a lot of inconsistency with the teams. Um, there's been six different winners at six different events if you count the CDL Pro Am Classic, or the event that the AMs went to and stuff. Um, but Optic has won, LAG has won. If you count the Pro Am, New York has won, and then Seattle has won. And then Toronto won the kickoff or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's been so much inconsistency in this game. The only team that's been kind of really consistent is FaZe, and they're consistently second, which is weird. But it's like MW in that fashion because FaZe and MW were the same thing. Because it's essentially the same game, but this is 4v4. Um, yeah. Either way. So like I said, it's just hard to predict, hard to like try and get logically like into I guess predicting teams to win. But I guess like if you're London here, Toronto's looked on the downfall again. They've been on a roller coaster this year. They've looked good, they've looked bad, they've looked good, they've looked bad. You know what I'm saying? Like who knows? And then London had really good form in Major Four, and if they can keep it up, they should be a really good team and a hard team to beat. Um, I'm gonna go just based off recency bias here, to be honest. London is like 16-2 overall record in Surge and Hardpoint, but they're 0-5 in Control. So to win this event, they really need to fix their control. But over recency biased, I think London's the better team here. I'm gonna go with a 3-1 victory. Just the strength of their hardpoint and searches. I think they lose the control again. Um, but yeah, London just looks like the better team right now, and that's that. Like, eh. um, next matchup: LAT versus Atlanta FaZe. Now, this is a huge matchup for LAT. You need to bring absolute fire to this game. You are a bubble team. You are in 7th place. You're not that far ahead of the other bubble teams or even the guys behind you in 8th place, which is, you know what I'm saying? Like, you need to have a stellar event. Um, it sucks that they play, probably the most consistent team in the game in this game. And I don't even know how FaZe has been so consistent, but it just sucks they haven't won. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah. Uh, this is kind of like a no-brainer for me. As much as I think LAT can upset, FaZe has just been consistent. It's FaZe. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't be surprised if something crazy happens. It's Vanguard. You never freaking know, dude. Like, but just off of the overall consistency FaZe has still shown throughout this game that we've been dealt with Atlanta FaZe here. Um Next matchup. Now this is probably like gonna be my favorite matchup to watch of day one, just because of the stipulations of this match. Um Both teams are kind of out of camps right now. Both teams need this win majorly. And if New York here is in the toughest situation in terms of the bubble because they're more behind in points and they need uh they kind of need more downfall of more teams than any other team does, if that makes sense. So uh yeah, I mean this is their major. They got the home advantage. You know what? That's done wonders to a lot of different events throughout this game. Optic Texas won their home major. They had the home crowd advantage. I mean, they looked really good at the beginning of the game, but that's besides the point. Um, we saw. I mean, the only even in Minnesota, like even though they didn't do well, like we saw them turn up because of the crowd. You know what I'm saying? I just think that's what's gonna bring New York over. But I think New York's also kind of like a little bit of a better team right now. But either way, I think I'm gonna go New York 3-2 here. Actually, dude, it's so hard, bro. I think if it goes 3-2, Minnesota's known for like clutching up. I'm just gonna say 3-1. Cause I think if it goes game 5, Minnesota probably has the edge. But yeah, I think New York's a better team right now. I had New York winning this 3-1. And the thing that sucks about this too is whoever loses this goes and plays Optic in losers, and you're really this is a big, huge match to win, bro, because you are terrified to go into losers and have to play a team like Optic. Regardless if they look bad in Major 4, they're still Optic, and it's Vanguard, and they could just hit form. And then if they hit form, they've won a tournament before. So it's like, that's still terrifying. Next matchup, Boston Breach, Florida Mutineers. Now, this one's easy for me. uh, Boston Breach, good split. I don't think they have anything to worry about. They'll make champs, even though they're kind of relatively close to the bubble too, I guess, But yeah. I mean, Florida got rid of Reese Vivid for some freaking reason. It makes no sense. Picked up another AR, dropped Dave Patty, who was a main AR, and then they have Skies and Awakening. I hate Florida's system, dude. I hate it. I always have. I always will. Until they realize that either one, you need to pick up 2 fast subs if you're gonna keep Skies and Awakening. Pick up 2 sub players. Don't pick up a freaking AR, please. Or realize that that duo doesn't work, drop one of them, get another AR with one of them, and then get another sub. It's not that hard. I'm not gonna get into it. I could spend like a whole freaking like 2 hour session talking about how much Florida roster changes just don't make sense to me whatsoever. But either way, I don't think Florida looked the greatest. When does Florida ever really impress me? Uh, but at the end of the day, Florida's done some interesting things this game. They always seem to be like when you think that they're so bad, they come out and you're like, oh, what the hell, Like it's weird, but even then, I still have no faith, dude. I have no faith. I think Boston's a better team. I think they 3-0 them. Simple as that. All right, starting in losers bracket. Now this LEG would need like LEG starting in losers here is probably the worst thing like you are terrified if you are LEG. You know what I'm saying? Like any of these teams could realistically pass you. I think this is the most realistic one, even though they're kind of more behind than anyone else. You know what I'm saying? But like, dude, LEG, you're just like you go into losers bracket, and then you have to play the loser of Toronto or London, right? And I think both teams are better than the current form LEG. So it's just a tough situation here. You know what I'm saying? But like I've said before, a couple times already, Vanguard. So anything can really happen. But I'm just gonna go hopefully with the safe pick here, even though it terrifies me to go with the safe pick in this game a lot. Gonna go Toronto Ultra, and I'm gonna go. Oh man, trying to think here. It doesn't look great though, is my thing. 'Cause, like LAG, this is probably the team that you probably would want to play in losers over London, to be honest. But like, I don't know, dude. I'm just gonna go 3-1 Toronto. But it scares me to go with 3-1 Toronto. Just know that. Just know I said that. Yeah. I think LAG gets bopped out of this tournament. They don't win, and they are going to be trembling, looking at the other teams playing in this event because they know they could get past and get out of champs. And this should be free smoke. Paris, as much as I wish they like could be a good team, you know what I'm saying? They haven't won a series since like Major 1 or something. I think the last series they won was like Major 1 land, I think. I don't know. I could be wrong. But they haven't won a series in a minute. It's been like 100 plus days, and they only have 20 CDL points. Enough said. But they have like went game 5 with a couple teams this split, which I'm not surprised. Like they have good players. They have good players that like shine. Donnie Temp has been consistent all year. They picked up Johnny, who's really good. Jimbo is starting to hit form. I think Gravity has been like up and down, but like overall, he's been a decent player for Paris. But I still don't think they're gonna. I'll give him a map. I don't. I think LA Thieves just purely out of like they need to win more. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sure Paris wants to like upset teams and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I just think LAT is gonna come out with more fire here. Um, sorry, Paris. As much as it's cool, as much as it would be cool to like predict them to be like knocking out a bubble team or something like that, but I don't think so. No, I just don't think so. Okay. Um, Minnesota versus Optic. Now this is interesting because I think Minnesota played Optic in stage 4 if I remember correctly, and Minnesota took home the W. I don't think Optic's gonna stay in the current bad form that they've been in on this stage. I mean they just got injured back. You know they've had a rough series of events with Illy. Uh, it is what it is. It happens. I mean I am an Optic fan. I hope they do good, but the reality of it is they haven't looked good. You know, this stage they look kind of mediocre. But like I said, it's Vanguard. Optic Texas could hit a form and they could just win the event. Any team could realistically. Uh, but I'm just gonna go with the Optic here. Um, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, both teams don't look great. I think this is just. I think this is just. This needs to be like a huge momentum series for Optic. That's what it needs to be. Because if they don't catch fire here, if they look like slow, that they're not like slaughtering this team, as much as like Minnesota's a good team, don't get me wrong, but they need like a good dominant win for Optic to make a run. If they look semi decently mediocre, they are not winning this event. Period. Um, Next matchup, Florida versus Surge. I think actually this matchup's kind of tough for me because like Surge went 1-4. They didn't look good, but I think Mac turns up on land a lot more too, which helps their case. But like I said, Florida's roster changes piss me off. Um, Dude, Florida has always been kind of like one of the hardest teams to predict, to be honest. Because, like I said, they could randomly look like a good team when you think they're shite. So, brother, I'm probably going to take a lot of time on this one that I don't want to. Ah, man. You know what? I think this one goes the distance, but I think Seattle takes it. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. All right, we're going to go back up to winners round 2 here. Um, Start off with London versus FaZe. Now, this is a going to I think this is going to be a banger of a matchup. First of all, both teams look really good right now. Atlanta FaZe is Atlanta FaZe. London looks in form, but I think this is where London is gonna really struggle in terms of like their hardpoint S&D record, right? They're like dominant 16-2 record in those game modes. Throughout stage 4. I don't think you're gonna find that consistency versus a team like Atlanta FaZe. So I think I think I'm gonna go 3-1 here, just because that I think the control if London doesn't fix their control, the control just gives instant map win to FaZe, and then I think they trade. The Atlanta FaZe is going to be a team that's going to be easily tradable with hardpoint and S&D. So yeah, I think Atlanta FaZe 3-1 here. Um, Now this is going to be a banger. Um, I think the winnable series for both teams, it's whoever's hot the current day. Vanguard. um, but I think I'm gonna predict New York to make champs, dude. I think they're gonna be fired up. Cram wants to make champs. It's their home series. I think I'm gonna predict them to go top 3, dude. I think they're gonna beat Breach. Yeah, I'm gonna go 3-1 New York. I think this is gonna be a banger series though. Um, but like I said, New York should be hella fired up, especially like I want to bring an interesting stat there real quick. I don't think New York has won at a major. If I'm not mistaken. I don't think they do. Their track record at majors is terrible. But if there's one major to turn up at, it's this one. At their home major, and you need to turn up, or else you just not in champs. I think this is the one major they're gonna do it. Um, yeah, I have them going top 3, and my winners final is gonna be Atlanta FaZe versus New York. Back down to the losers bracket. Um, Next few predictions are probably gonna be losers bracket. Uh, Toronto versus the. Oh man. Well, I think both teams are kind of evenly matched right now in terms of like current form in stage 4. Um Shoot, man. This is a hard one. I think I have more faith in Thieves' current form right now than Ultra. Ultra just like looked more shaky to me. I don't know. That's just there's not really much analysis to go with that. I like Thieves' current form more than Ultra's right now. Couldn't explain it. I just do. Next matchup is Optic versus Surge, and this is a team that has been giving Optic struggles this year a couple times. Not gonna lie. It's just like if Max, Civ, and Pred hit form, dude, they are terrifying. They are 3 talented individuals, man. Um, but like I said, I predicted here that if Optic just like get a dominant 3-0 3-1 win, that it looks good. Um, I think they'll carry that momentum. Um, I still think this goes kind of distancy here. I'm gonna go Optic clutching up. Yeah. Okay. Now here's where it gets really hard. Boston Breach, LA Thieves. The only thing that scares me about Breach right now is like their S&D hasn't looked as good as it did in the past with when they had Cap. But I do think their overall respawn consistency has looked better with Reese Vivid. Um, Searches and destroys should be weird in this one because these have had like an interesting search background this whole game. So I think the search and destroys are going to play a very important factor here. I think both teams have the capability to trade respawns. To be honest, um, shoot, man, I'm gonna go 3-2 thieves. Screw it. Think it days, man. Could be totally wrong, you know, but oh well. Be totally wrong. Now this matchup is hard. I hate this matchup for Optic. As an Optic fan, I hate this matchup. But realistically, London look like the better team. Like they look completely like a completely better team than Optic right now. It's not even close. London's form is 10 times better than Optic's. Um, so I think this one could go distancy too. But I think I'm gonna have London taking this one to be honest. I think I think what Optic needs. I think this is good land practice for them for champs, and then they really need to hit that. Like that champs grind needs to be absolute real. They need good practice. They need, you know what I'm saying? Like they just need their mojo back. I don't think they'll find it yet, but I think they will when it comes to champs time. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna go London 3-1 just because I think their form has been better than Optics in this much of a fashion. So yeah, I'm gonna go London 3-1. um, we're gonna do losers semis first, and then we'll go do winners finals. So this one, I'm gonna go London again, just because, like I said, I think they look like the better team. I really like London's form right now, and London has been a team to me that like, even if they like don't have a good S&D record by chance, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't. Let's go see their S&D records real quick. All right, this is gonna be interesting, but I kind of want to see. Kind of interested. Go to. I mean, realistically, we could just do this, right? And then we just click on the team. Yeah. Okay. I just want to look at their record real quick in terms of S&D or overall. Okay, so they're 50-50. But I think the thing is like, but see, that's where London scares me. Like London is not good at control. Um, but I think London, just like their play style and their lack of fear to make a play, really impresses me. And sometimes it could win or lose you games, but I still like the fact that they just aren't afraid to make a play. They've always played with like really super speedy aggression and search. I really like their search play style, even though they're kind of 50-50 in it. Um, but I think, like I said, the one map win LA Thieves gets is control. Um, but I think this is where like their 16-2 record and search and hardpoint throughout stage 4 could like overshine Thieves', if that makes sense. I don't know, but yeah, I think London looked better. I'm gonna go with London here. Um, Now this should be a banger of a series. Um, Atlanta versus New York in the winners finals. Yeah, at this point, if you're New York, like I think you've already like, because like in terms of like the standings, right? I just don't know how much. Yeah. Okay. So let me do some math real quick. So third place gets 40. So they've already considered top three here, and Florida and Minnesota got 0, and LAG did, and they got 50. Bring them at 160 and surpass them. It would even surpass LA Thieves here. So I think their champs is good. I think at this point they've already secured champs, which is awesome for them. Like I said, I really do think they're gonna make champs at this event. I think they're gonna turn up and really do some work here. So yeah, um, at this point they've already qualified. Um, they just gotta finish doing business here. But I don't think it's gonna be good enough. I think it's gonna be a banger series, but it's Atlanta FaZe at the end of the day. They've made every they've made every grand finals of every tournament, bro. Like, come on. Yeah. Gonna go Atlanta FaZe 3-2, having them going to grand finals. Now this one's hard. 'Cause I think this is like a series where it's like Vanguard. And I know I say that a lot in this video, but hey. I just think it's whatever team looks better at this day type vibes. Like both of these teams could beat each other 110%. They're both solid, have good form. They both finished 4-1 at stage 4. Gonna be a banger of a series. Shoot, man. Do I want to do this? Man. You know what? This one's hard, man. It's gonna pain me if like if let's say my bracket somehow goes to this or whatever, right? I don't think it will because Vanguard's so hard to predict. But uh, let's say this losers finals actually happens, and if London wins, I'm gonna be so mad because I kind of wanted to give him the win and have him go against FaZe, but I'm just gonna. It's the New York event, and that's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with New York. Now this is grand finals: Atlanta FaZe versus New York. Do I have this? Is this the event where FaZe finally does it? Will they finally win one? We're gonna say they do. We're gonna say they win the event, even though I think I told myself I told myself that if FaZe didn't fix their inconsistency in search, I want to go look at their search real quick. I want to show you guys because I don't think it's great. Um, but it could be like good still. But in terms of Atlanta FaZe, I don't think that's a great search record. To be honest, you know what I'm saying? Like it's still good, but I feel like the loss column should be significantly less. It should be like around their hard point record. Like I don't know. They've got a lot of losses in hard point, but they've also like got a lot more wins too. If that makes sense, I don't know. It should be like that more win percentage ish, I guess, but it just isn't. But they're look at their records, dude. They're solid. I think this is the event that FaZe is gonna do it, man. They're gonna finally win one, man. I'm gonna go for I would say 5-3 or 5-2. That's probably my safe pick. But we're just gonna go 5-3 in terms of submitting their predictions. But I think FaZe win this one, man. I think they finally do it. It'd be cool. Yeah, that's gonna be my major 4 predictions. It's probably a little bit on the shorter side compared to like what I've usually done. I kind of like sped through this, but hey, man, like I said, and I will say it again. In terms of Vanguard, I think this is a pretty solid prediction. I don't know, it could go completely wrong. You never freaking know. It's whatever team's the hottest on this weekend, man. That's who's gonna win. Simple as that. I mean, that's how Call of Duty always is, but like usually there's more consistency into the factor. Like last year, the game was consistent. The spawns made sense, everything made sense, and that's why you saw Atlanta FaZe dominate. Like they were really good at Cold War, and the game made sense, and they were consistent. And this game is a lot more random. So, hey man, I hope FaZe win this for me. We're gonna submit it. I cannot make changes. So that is my bracket. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I go on hiatuses a lot. I'm sorry. I try not to, but sometimes life happens and I struggle. I stream every day too, so it's like hard to manage like what I go through in life. Like I just got a job, so I'm working. I go to the gym every day, and then I stream, and I prioritize my stream over YouTube. And I'm sorry, but sometimes it's hard to manage. So that's that. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video. That is my major 4 bracket. Let me know your thoughts and comments on who's gonna win or blah blah blah. Whatever you want to talk about, I got you. I will see you guys. I'm definitely gonna do a champs one I can't miss out on a champs prediction video. Definitely gonna do a champs one. So we'll see you guys, whatever that bracket looks like, and we'll predict that one. Got you there. Peace.